they have been part and parcel as well, okay, of the rot in the society, including, you see, this level of sexual harassment. I call it a rape culture in my own kind of like, interpretation. It's called rape culture. It is a culture where if you are a woman, okay, there are some certain things that they want you to believe is already rigged against you. For example, if I'll use powerful now, because these are not really powerful people. These are a bunch of cowards, okay, hiding behind whatever they call it, power. It's not power, okay, it's pure, misplaced, what have you, okay. So there are those who believe that if you, for any reason, if a man, a powerful person or rich person, for example, right, sexually harass you, you are not really expected to make a fuss about that. You know, like, why are you making a fuss about that? Are you trying to destroy his house? You want to spoil his home? You want his children? Do you know what this man did before he became who he is? So, like, do you know how many women that will kill or die on the heel of this man just to kind of have one moment with him? So there are those who believe in this. They are like older people. Even though we now have the younger people who have been, mentally kind of like destroyed anyway. So the number is growing. But there are some older people. I'll use some now. Okay, who never really see, like they don't really see corruption as a bad thing. They've benefited immensely from it. They do not see sexual harassment as anything. And if you look at them very well, they are also the most bigoted people ever, older people. Oh, you don't know that? Because you do. The older people are the most bigoted people with ingrained bigotry in their system. And they have been the ones working like the devil, okay, to recruit younger people into these bigotry schemes of a thing. Older people. They are the ones that have this culture of, if you are from this place, do not mingle with the people from this place. And when you ask them why, so they will make up stories to justify the, what do you call it, the recruitment, the bigotry recruitment, because I call it recruitment, because that's what they do. The older guys. So if you are a woman, sometimes you be like, the West that has Western education seems to be more, should be more enlightened when it comes to some certain subjects, Abby. Or you'll be surprised, that they are as gullible, as much as they are as bigoted, they are as selfish, as much as self-centered as they are. They are like the textbook definition of what is really wrong with that contraption. I'm speaking as a Yoruba man now. You know? So it is such a toxic place where being a woman, it's like being disadvantaged. But if you are a man, you probably have a mom. Of course, you do have a mom. Maybe I don't have mom anymore, but I did have mom. So you have a mom, you have a sisters, you have maybe daughters, and in this world, right, people who will sacrifice other people's, female relatives to satisfy whatever is their own insatiable sort of, what do you call it? They are also as protective of their own than what you can ever imagine. Akpabiole has 2 girls ahead. if any of Akpabiole's daughters comes home to say her boss at work sexually harassed her, what will be the first reaction of Akpabiole? Shut her up? Call the boss and praise him? Say, how are you? My daughter came home now and said you sexually harassed her. I've told her off. Because man to man, I don't want to believe her. That won't be the case. You all know what the reaction will be like. So those of you who are men, right, who are jumping into the bandwagon, because you can easily tell as we speak, right, you can see horde of people who are trying, like walking like the devil, overworking, like walking overtime, okay, to attack the personality of Natasha rather than the veracity of her allegation. On the one hand, right, they are all talking as if to say, oh, it's been investigated, it's been concluded, or she lied. No. She hasn't been investigated. The allegation hasn't been investigated. It was not to be entertained at all. That is the subject. That is the agenda. So if you have a female child, or you have a sisters or mom, and you are joining them in trying to attack the personality of Natasha, right? Maybe this message is for you too. It is. So the one that is a Labour Party guy that proposed that Natasha should be suspended, like I said, no senator can suspend another senator because they are all colleagues, except that Akpabiole is just first among equals, which means as elected leadership of the National Assembly, right? But it is not bigger than Natasha. There is a court judgment that says you can't suspend a senator, but they did anyway. You know, there is a court judgment that said they shouldn't suspend her, but they did anyway. Because according to them, a court cannot tell them how to do their job. They didn't really investigate this allegation. No. There is no investigation or nothing. No. And everybody's reacting on it. She's guilty. But we do know who is guilty. Listen to this move for two.
I went to the office as I left the chambers and I found a notice from M.J. Numa and Partners, LLP. They say they are trial attorneys and transaction advisors. And they have presented to me a motion and a rolled order from the court attempting to stop this committee from doing its work. This is unacceptable. And indeed, we should actually let the world know that there is what they call separation of powers in our Constitution. The judiciary, like I just told you, if there's a matter before them, we do not touch those matters. We know as parliamentarians what our rights, privileges are. And one of those things is we moderate what we do in the Senate. It is not subject to any court. And so in the Senate, whatever happens there happens within the Senate and not subject to any other court. The issue before us today is the issue of an alleged misconduct of one of our distinguished senators on the floor of the Senate. And there are rules that guide such conduct and such behavior. It is not subject to any court outside this committee.
So if there is a rule that says an allegation is made against the Senate President of the contraption, so a committee is expected to take the petition, Abi, investigate it. No be so? But in this case, no investigation. To them, Natasha is guilty. And that guilt is that without any investigation or nothing, they believe that she lied against Akpabiole. Our petition was not taken. It was rejected. So which means inside that petition of ours, evidence was the committee was supposed to invite her and say, okay, bring evidence. They didn't even wait to do all of that. Like you can sorry, I know some of you have already been putting bet on. It will remove the cap soon. It will remove the cap. I know. It's already itching me in the head. Like I'm feeling so warm from the head. And I don't like it like that. So let the hair breathe to my head. You know? So your job is to invite her and say, okay, yeah, your allegation, yeah, bring the petition. Now we are going to ask you some questions and we would love you to provide us all this evidence. They didn't even do any of that. Baba, it was outrightly rejected. This mofo, this guy said, the allegation and the petition is dead on arrival. DOA, dead on arrival. We are not going to open it. No, we are not going. No. Without any of that, right? They went on and proposed that they didn't invite her. They didn't look at her petition. They just went on to propose that she must be suspended for 6 months. So who has something to hide here? And then they went on into the media where they started this campaign of calumny, attacking her personality. She has 6 children for 6 men. Which is not true. Or she has accused other people of sexually harassing her, this and that, you know. So this is not true. She must be punished. No investigation. I like what this guy said on the matter.
The right to a seat, it's a privilege because the right to be in the Senate is by election and a certificate of return. Do not forget, you and I cannot go there. So once he raises that point, it is a duty under Order 10, the famous Order 10 she was shouting about, of the presiding officer to have suspended all other matters. I consider that a very serious issue and taking her complaint and make a formal ruling. But if you watch the proceedings on that day, as the distinguished senator was shouting Order 10, Order 10, I already heard the presiding officer talking about prepare her for suspension. Review the tape. We've seen it. You were already preparing her for suspension even before you
So was it fake accomplice?
Oh yeah, it was completely...
They decided our fate even long before the ethics committee was even...
It was predetermined. And then beyond that, the question was, at the time they went to court, the issue was that there was a thinking, a suspicion that she might be suspended. That was why she went to court. If you don't stop them, they will do it. And then they did it in spite of receiving the order. Now, I said to them, they were wrong. Section 4, subsection 8 of the Constitution is clear. In the conduct of his legislative powers and duties, their conduct shall be subject, all right?
Yeah. It was all predetermined, just like I said. Prepare to suspend her. We have to suspend her. And indeed, if you review the tape 2 days ago, she must be suspended. Suspend her. Look at her petition. We have to suspend her. And that's exactly why, like he said, that's why she went to court, to stop them. He said, the committee should at least do its job. Your job is to take my petition, right? Investigate it. Even if you are still going to come and punish me by saying that I lied, at least pretend to do your job. You get what I mean? Pretend. Pretend that you are doing your job. Pretend. But these ones don't want to pretend. You know? Bunch of narcissistic, misogynistic animals in a contraption where they see themselves as so much above the law. They are above the law. You know? And that's why they had to suspend her and see if they can shut her, organize an award for Akpabiole. Papa, they gave Akpabiole award. Women gave him award.
Have you ever wondered, did you take stock when you were with me, when you came to see me with your women leaders? Did you ask me, when did this issue happen? It's only yesterday that I realized that what we are talking about happened only after the change of seats in the Senate. That is when hell was let loose, and all sorts of allegations came up. Only after the change of seat in the Senate and change of the committee, which my senators know happen from time to time. Said to have happened on the 8th of December, a day to my birthday, which was celebrated in the stadium in 2023. So from 8th of December 2023, I never heard, my wife never heard, no Nigerian never heard, even the husband never heard any issue of sexual harassment until our committee was changed, and then our seat was changed, and she went on. Have you ever wondered the trauma caused by that same woman on the other people she had accused in the past? None has been proven so far. You've not wondered. Do you even wonder the trauma caused to the 10th Senate and the image of the Senate with all these useless allegations? I've refrained myself from making a statement. Look at these beautiful women. They've come across me so many times. Have I ever harassed any of you? Or is the person thinking that you are not beautiful? So I don't want to dwell on that.
Nuisance, Lele.
You see the line of arguments. So it is like, let's say somebody is raped, and years later, maybe 2 years or 3 years later, they decided to come forward and tell their story. And then the first response of people will be, why did it take you so long? Why didn't you talk about the rape when it happened? Why do you have to wait till now? Do you get that now? Like, that happens all the time, doesn't it? Right? It happens. People will say, why didn't you come out then? Especially in a country like Nigeria, where rape culture is part of their culture, unfortunately. So the victim will be torn apart, torn into shred, and everybody will be taking a piece, like a piece of her like that, make a mincemeat of her, until she will regret ever coming forward. It happens here too, but do you know the difference? The difference is that there will be team of strong goal-getter lawyers that will say, you know what, if it's just you, this guy may never get punished. You may never get justice. But you know what we're going to do? We're going to make it a class action. So we will make an announcement and say, if you have been harassed, sexually raped, if you have been raped or harassed by this guy, assaulted, we want you to come forward. You'll be protected. And boom, you may see 10, 15, 20 people come out. That is not Nigeria-like, doesn't happen in that contraption like that. Because it is a place where there are unseen hands that will begin to kind of like threaten you. If you are not Natasha, you can't come out and say Akpabiole sexually harass you. I bet if they have a working system where women are asked within that National Assembly in, in Akwa Ibom, and say, if you have ever been sexually harassed or raped by Akpabiole, could you please come forward? And then this list of women, they will come forward, protected. That can happen in that contraption, can it? The same Akpabiole that says that Natasha has accused other people of sexual harassment, which is part of what they have created right now. They have created something like that now by saying that she accused other people of sexually harassing her, that she's the most beautiful and all of that stuff. Is she the most beautiful? Are there no other beautiful women? How come they are not saying that they are sexually harassed by this or that. The same Akpabiole has 2 other women whose record are public. One of them knows the Nigeria that they live in, that he will never be punished, and she rather took her own pound of flesh by slapping the shit out of him. And then went on TV to say it. I slapped shit out of him. I know this is Nigeria, this is a lawless place. These guys are mostly untouchable. Nothing is ever going to be heard or what have you, right?